Hey guys, welcome to WaRpTV, where we help you get good and maybe take some scalps. Also want to welcome you to week 36, 2025, Team Wars for South Park Phone Destroyer. Now, it seems like you guys are really enjoying these tutorial videos. Leave a like if you have been. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We're gonna try to make this another shorter video because I wasn't talking shit, by the way, the other week when I said you guys have TikTok brain. It's just how things go, right? Everybody has less time in the day, and if you care about this game, I mean, it's kind of a dead game, right? You don't want to spend so much time trying to learn about it, but sometimes you can't help it, right? There's just so much information, and I've played this game so long that I have so much information, and I try to give you guys every bit of it that I can. So sometimes I get carried away, so my bad, bros. But yeah, so let's try to shorten this up a little bit. I want to try doing what we did last time, and that is show you a match that kind of shows the deal and why I picked this versus that. And then we'll go and show you the choices and mark them off. And maybe say a couple reasons then. I don't know. We'll see the video link. So here we go, bros. Let's go into this match. Here we go. All right. So you're gonna see here that we're gonna be going like freeze over poison, Sizzler over DSR, and what else is contentious here? Probably, I don't know if this would be contentious, but some people might think it. Regen versus hyperdrive. We'll talk about it. All right. So let's get this running here. All right. So here's basically the danger that you're gonna have. It's kind of a Dougie week, right? So bro opens Dougie. The best thing in my hand wasn't the best thing, and that's going to be Chaos. So you're going to have Chaos, the Professor Chaos. For that, it'll stop him, but just be careful because of what's about to happen here, right? It is a freeze Dougie, so you kind of want to note, like here, bros, note where the Dougie ends up, so you can sort of, whatever you have in your hand minus Chaos, kind of put it back so it doesn't freeze like this. I wasn't thinking at all about it, and this is my bad. So try to place whatever you have that you're going to use a little bit behind that point where he ends up, and if you catch it a little early, you might even get 2 melee hits, right? So here I unfortunately lose a bar and a half. I think that was a B6 Dougie. So I kind of lost an important unit there too, because Stan the Great is an S tier TVT card. But we kind of reset. For whatever reason, this guy put out so much stuff to deal with that Stan. He's bringing a whole push at me. And of course, we just have a tank and our mecha, and we're gonna be good, right? So Maxi, and you're about to see why Maxi and why you shouldn't do this next move that the opponent does. So there you go. Bro poisons over Maxi. Now, obviously, you guys kind of understand why that's a bad idea, right? So poison over a regen unit, it may very well bring my mecha down a little bit, but because we're standing there for such a long time, the poison's just gonna get canceled out by virtue of Maxi being out. Now, if you didn't have Maxi out like this, as soon as your stuff gets poisoned, then you want to do regeneration, right? That just outright cancels it. Your units end up healthier than when they started in some cases, right? So regen, so picking regen to counter poison is just obvious, right? And that is a reason why we are also going freeze over poison, because it's such a risky play. It's game losing if somebody regens your poison away, right, bros? But it's also kind of risky because the main poison play is to kill BHK or Bounty Hunter Kyle. So it's just, everything is a give and take here, bros. Just be careful. So the other point of contention is usually this week it's Sizzler versus DSR, right? Another freeze for your arsenal here only helps you. It really does. You would think that DSR has that under wraps because it can just, you know, weaken an entire push. It can weaken Sizzler, but it's not as impactful as you're about to see. It really isn't. So he's gonna wait a little bit. There it is. There's the DSR. You see we have a double heal. We have Maxi's Rage, right? Which makes it to where he gets more heal the less or the less health that he has. You put regen over that, and it's just, I mean, geez, good luck, right? So you would think that like, even if you didn't have regen for that, you would think that DSR would be super impactful versus a tank, or even just Sizzler, and it's really not. Now this isn't even a levels thing, bros. So you see, he tries to stop it, but once Sizzler is out of the debuff, out of the damage debuff, he's basically built up. It's just so much more impactful than DSR just debuffing a push or two, right? Sizzler can also stop a Dougie from taking your last bar. Like, it'll help, right? But you got to catch it at the right angle, obviously. Be careful with that stuff. You can do the same thing with Murph, by the way. Murph is going to be the choice, and but you have to end up kind of putting Murph in the right spot. Like, if you see here, you see my mouse. Let's say they throw Dougie here, and then he goes. Well, you have to kind of put Murph about right here, so that Murph can hit that Dougie a few times. And if you do this correctly, Murph has enough DPS on that Dougie to where that Dougie may only hit your new kid once, and that's way better than losing your last bar or something, right? So keep these things in mind. It's more of a freeze week than a Dougie week, and all of these are really designed for that. All right, so he couldn't stop it. There's the BHK. I want to show you one more. So this is the DSR version. DSR version, still have freeze, still have Brad. I'm gonna show you one more thing about Brad before the video, or before this section of the video is over, though. All right, so kind of a bad hand, right? But we can always open Dougie. This guy has Epics 3 to my base levels. Take half a bar there. Now that's one thing you don't want to do with Murph if you guys are forced to use him with unsupported, right? That's really it. Like, he's gonna be unsupported. You're gonna hold my push on my side of the field. Hitting Murph that early is definitely not a good idea. So we're gonna chill out here. And there's the chaos. I don't think I hit it because of all the mess happening, right? So the chaos ends up not working. So ironically, the Murph did sort of work out for him. So we have a mecha coming in from the background. We're gonna try and absorb his charge. There we go. That's cool, that's fine. We bring it back. Now, the esport thing that you kind of saw happening, if Banjo had a tank, and I had my mecha, mind control his tank, put out Elven King Bradley, increase my range, and then start hitting his mecha. That's like the biggest esports thing you can do this week, bro. Keep that in mind because it is so important, and it messes them up so bad to do that. So mind controlling their tank or whatever units in front, get out Elven King Bradley, start hitting their mecha, or start hitting their BHK. Keep that one in mind, bros. Okay, so we're gonna fight through. We got Belf at 42 stacks here. Well, there you go. We got poison. We're just gonna fucking regen that, right? So there it is. And notice that the BHK is not even dying. And there you go. He wanted to kill the BHK, but he couldn't. Because we just regened it. Plus, we had Maxi there. So we're going to back up Maxi. As soon as the bar is done, throw Dougie. Now this is way more risky. Because it's a base level Dougie. But we also have our freeze to kind of help us out. Double freeze with the Dougie itself. All right, so Chaos, biggest use is going to be anti-Dougie. You got to make sure to hit the right angle, right? Mecha, going to be very useful for new kids of all levels, teams of all levels. Inkin, not even high level teams are going to be picking Inkin, even though it seems nice because you could just kill BHK, you could damage the back line. Mecha is very important this week to be pulling esports moves like the one I discussed earlier. Murph, I mean, bro, is there any question between Murph or Asimo? Murph's another very esports unit. There's lots of important kids this week. You could stick him on Stan the Great, freeze him. All of a sudden, they don't have that S tier debuff. And that's just one thing. You could do the gradual DPS on a Dougie that's played. Kill him before it does 1 or 2 hits on your new kid. Yeah. Belf, just an overall better unit, right? Overall better unit than Robo Bebe. She has range, and remember you can combo it with EKB. And hit something past with their tank when you mind control. Regen, primary use is going to be anti-poison. Now, that's not to say hyperdrive isn't good. It is good. It can be good, especially this week. But you have a lot of units to lose with poison, especially in competitive levels. Poison is, yeah, you don't want to give them value for poison. And with that being said, a good player is going to regen your poison, right? So why not just use freeze for some esports plays, and it saves your team caps. Duh, right? All right, Elven King Bradley for more damage, more range, and some esports. Stan the Great, the debuff is not to be dismissed. Sizzler over DSR, unless you're a low team. I think DSR will be fine if you need to save caps. I wouldn't set her all the way to 1 and use her as a spell. She needs to be able to handle the push that she just debuffed, right? And then Sizzler for the reasons we talked about earlier. Then we got the freeze Dougie, because barrel Dougie's very useless, right, bros? BHK, very impactful unit. They're gonna try to freeze that, bros. So don't play BHK unless you have regen in hand. I'm telling you, a good player with a team that went poison is gonna try to poison your BHK. You gotta have that regen ready to go, bros. Kite would be all right, but this TVT, you need DPS. You need DPS. And another thing that's kind of like, I don't know, not as bad, even though it is still bad. Kite kind of encourages grouping. So on a poison week, on a DSR week, you know, on a Sizzler freeze week, grouping a bunch of units together, not the best idea, right, bros? All right, and unfortunately, it is definitely not a Mimsy week. We have our Mimsy week, right, bros? We have a couple. It is not one of those weeks. Maxi all the way. He's just a better tank. Kind of counters regen or poison. Yeah. So there you go, bros. There are your picks, my recommendations. Let me know how you liked this video. It's still gonna be short. But yeah, guys, we'll see you back later in the week. Thanks all. Peace.